Felicia Marie Johnson was last seen Saturday, April 16th, 2022 at the Intercontinental Houston Medical Center Hotel. I believe that's on the 6700th block on a main street in Houston, Texas. She was known for her ride or die mentality. Her body has yet to be discovered, but her phone was located, covered in her blood, in Bear Creek Park. Where is Felicia Johnson? Did CoverGirl's nightclub have something to do with her disappearance? Did Houston Police Department let Chiwebuka Nwubodo go because of Felicia's ethnicity? Or maybe because of her occupation? Or was it both?
Hey, word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor want a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG, Bobby, Johnson.
Hey y'all, hey, we are back with another SWN True Crime video. Thank y'all so much for all the support and all the love on my last lingerie haul. I can't wait for the next one, but yeah, I'm just super grateful and super thankful for you guys. Before I start, I just want to give my condolences to the family, and I also want to say that what I am saying is public information, and I am linking all of the resources below so you can join the conversation. Today's case is an ongoing case, so there's not much information on this, but the perpetrator is still at large, so I want you guys to please be careful and please listen because they have no idea where this guy could be. Again, it is dangerous for everyone, not only us workers. All right, let's get into our next case. Felicia Marie Johnson was born April 10th, 1998 in California, I believe. It's not really stated where she was, like the specifics of where she was born, but for most of her childhood she was in California. I believe her father is Kevin Johnson. One of her childhood's Instagram, I found that she graduated in 2016, so I believe she was around my age. Well, yeah, she was my age. I graduated also around that time. So yeah, other than that, I found that she was just a beautiful person inside and out. She was always there to help her friends. She was very helpful, very kind, always offered words, always offered advice, always offered her help. She was just truly an angel on earth. According to one of her friends, who was also one of her like ride or die best friends and a fellow dancer, she always stated that Felicia was a go-getter. She was loved by her family and friends. Her father even stated that she was just genuinely a sweetheart and a very dependable person. From what I found, Felicia had a Twitter, as well as an IG that would basically link all of her fans to her OF page. If you didn't hear what I mentioned earlier, she was also a exotic dancer. I believe she danced in San Diego, but from what we're going to talk about, she went to Houston to find work to dance as well. Felicia was quite stunning and would catch anybody's eye. Friday, April 15th, 2022, Felicia spoke to her family about her trip in Houston, Texas. Felicia was going to Houston to go for work and also for her 24th birthday. Sources say she auditioned at the CoverGirl's nightclub in Houston, Texas, but was turned away. Other models at the club have spoken out and said that this club has been extremely discriminatory as well as colorist. Models also have came up to say that yes, have made them feel uncomfortable, and after they've told higher up management, nothing has been done. They feel like nobody is really listening to their concerns and their safety. Furthermore, this club is known to not really hire Black women or women of darker skin tone. I'm unsure when the timeline of when Felicia went to CoverGirl's nightclub, but her family believes this is the last known location of where she was. After not hearing from Felicia for several days, and also her social medias being radio silent, as I've said in previous videos, key red flag, her family decided to hire a private investigator. On April 16th, the private investigator searched from her phone the pinged last location. Upon that, they found that her phone was around the area in Bear Creek Park, which is about 5 miles from the Cover Girls nightclub. Her family stated that there was no social media activity, there was no credit card activity, there was no call log activity. Literally, Felicia went silent. They fortunately found her phone in the area that the private investigator found, which is in Bear Creek Park. But it was covered in Felicia's blood, and Felicia was nowhere in sight. This caused the family to immediately report to HPD, Houston Police Department, and to tell them about what they found, as well as her last whereabouts. It didn't take police officials long to obtain Felicia's phone records for more clarity on where she could be, or potentially where her body could be.
That's right, Lynn. A PI hired by the family claims he found Johnson's phone covered in blood here at Bear Creek Park. Further reason the family believes foul play is involved. Flyers like this are posted at Bear Creek Park, where 24-year-old Felicia Johnson's family says her bloody phone was found, while her father, Kevin, continues to keep her name in the news.
I'm her father, I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home.
He came to Houston from his home in San Diego after getting word of Felicia's disappearance.
And nobody's gonna fight this fight more than me, harder than me, and longer than me.
He says his oldest of 3 children was last seen April 15th at Cover Girls Gentlemen's Club on West Little York, where she applied for a job days after coming to town from California to celebrate a birthday and earn some extra cash.
She fell into something that she couldn't get out of.
From the records that police obtained, they found that Felicia and this man, Chukwuebuka Nwabodo, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, was talking on Snapchat, and they believe that her messages showed that they were planning to meet up for about $500. Upon searching his name, the local police department found that Chukwuebuka had a sexual assault case in November of 2020. Upon further investigation, they saw that the charges were dropped against him, but they wanted to look into him more. They proceeded to check his bank records, and they did find to confirm from his Wells Fargo account that he did obtain or take out $500. According to Uber records, which they subpoenaed, they also found that Chukwuebuka ordered Felicia an Uber on April 16th as well. The Uber arrived at the Intercontinental Houston Medical Center at 3 a.m. That Uber took Felicia to Chukwuebuka's old address on Winchase Boulevard, which he met them there, and he picked Felicia up to take her to his new address on South Richmond Avenue. Using that information on Uber, the police department could locate Chukwuebuka's email address as well as his phone number. More evidence was revealed. On April 16th and 17th, Nwabodo was seen leaving Walmart with a bandage on his right hand, purchasing trash bags, towels, as well as a flashlight. Sources say he also purchased a mechanical saw from Walmart and or Home Depot. I'm unsure of all of the dates as well as the information due to this case is really not covered as well as it should be. Police even found health documents to confirm that Nwabodo did injure his right hand somehow. He went to the local hospital claiming he cut himself while cutting open some boxes. On April 20th, investigators say that Nwabodo did an extensive Google search through his Google email account. They found that he researched, does vinegar destroy DNA? What does bleach do to DNA? He also researched how to become a serial killer, as well as the most deserted forests in Houston, and he looked up how does one plan a murder without getting caught. Nearly 2 weeks after Felicia's disappearance, on April 30th to be exact, Judytrue did another search. He searched for Houston escorts. He went to skipthegame.com, which is an adult service provider website. It has anything up there from whether you want exotic dancers to full service or a masseuse. Finally, on May 13th, HPD finally did an arrest warrant for Judytrue after they suspected that they found blood, as well as several items with Felicia's DNA in his car. Sources say they also found Felicia's DNA in his apartment as well.
According to court documents, here's the timeline Houston police homicide detectives have laid out. On April 16th at 2:56 in the morning, Johnson is last seen at the Intercontinental Hotel at the medical center. She gets into an Uber HPD says was ordered by Nuwobodo. He responded, detectives say, to an ad Johnson placed online. The Uber took Johnson to Nuwobodo's old address on Windchase. Then he picks her up and takes her to his apartment on South Richmond, according to police. An hour later, his car is seen on surveillance video leaving the complex. And at 5:12 in the morning, Johnson's phone connects with a cell tower near where her family finds it in Bear Creek Park later that day. The next 2 days, HPD says receipts show Nuwobodo took out money, purchased supplies, and his internet searches included things like most forested parts of Houston. On May 13th, detectives got search warrants for his car and apartment. He was taken into custody during a traffic stop, but it's unclear when he was released.
Activist Quanell X, who is working closely with the family, states, "This is painful. We are sick and tired of these young girls coming up missing and being found murdered by sick individuals who think they can get away with it because they are just soft targets and young girls and young women of color, and they think nobody will care." That same week, Judytrue did another search to see if police could track phone records. To be exact, he searched, could police department search a missing person's phone records? Nuwobodo was arrested and released. Yes, I said released during a traffic stop on May 14th. But during this traffic stop, they did get to seize his phone.
Volunteers that found Felicia Johnson's purse in Bear Creek Park, close to where Johnson's family found her cell phone. And although Houston police believe the 24-year-old was murdered, they still have not found her body.
Bear Creek Park, it's thick in areas. There's some little roads that go off. There's some little areas that would be simple to pull in and dump something and get out.
Documents say in his phone he had a picture of a dismembered woman as well as 3 pictures of dead bodies. The deceased victims have yet to be identified. Nuwobodo was charged on June 9th with all of the evidence against him, but Felicia's body has yet to be recovered. However, it is assumed that she was dismembered and taken to a secluded area in Houston. This case had me a little confused because during a lot of the research, they stated that she was just at the club, and until I really looked at the police documents of like the Snapchat conversation and a lot of frequent talk of people saying that he was a known client to people and that this is not his first time doing something like this. It immediately, had me thinking did her parents or did her family not know that she was dabbling in full service? And it just honestly baffled me. This case blew my mind. And some past dancers of the Cover Girls nightclub has spoken out about their disdain about the club. They've also mentioned some very unsafe situations they were in while at work. On IG, a lot of people noticed that instead of, expressing grievances for Felicia, they went private and continued to go about this crime never happened. People even noted that the club owners or managers didn't even want to work with the local police department to help find Felicia. This backs a lot of people saying that Judytrue probably worked at the club or was a regular and the club is protecting him. Houston, Texas is a major hub for human trafficking, especially sex trafficking. For 2021, of the 521,705 new missing people reports entering the NCIC, 203,836 missing people were over the age of 18. Activist Kwamel X states, "This is the fourth case in 6 months of a missing Black person, specifically a female." He also states, in every one of these cases with Black women, HPD are dragging their feet and getting them closure.
Felicia's father, Kevin, says the last few months have been a roller coaster of emotions. He says their family is standing strong and will not stop until they get justice for Felicia. A father's plea to the Houston community.
And it's been 2 weeks to just come forward and just say something. I can't put it into words.
Sparked extensive search efforts for Felicia Johnson in early April. Johnson went missing after taking a trip to Houston for her 24th birthday.
I felt like that could have killed me. Just to find out like that what happened to her and the information.
Her father, Kevin, alongside Felicia's stepmother, Myra, speaking to us via Zoom from San Diego, trying to grasp a reality that doesn't feel real.
As usual, I will be offering my tips as an S worker As usual, I'll be offering my tips as an S worker that has been in the industry for about 2 years. First, I would like to say, please, please, please always share your location with a family, friend, a loved one, or even somebody in the community. Personally, for me, I have my location on for my friends, my at-home friends, my S-work friends, my work friends, as well as my personal family. They always know where I am because you just never know these days. It's best to be safe than sorry. Next, I would say, please make sure you do a proper screening. Not trying to say that Felicia didn't, not, going there, but always do a proper screening. I know that there's a lot of forums that you could find where a lot of people will blast a client if they're, being too pushy, too predatory. It's whole forums. Twitter is also a good place for them. I've also been in different spaces where different providers will have a whole space about a client, or even just expressing their grievances and just, the more the merrier type of thing. So just being in a community where you feel safe and where you can report if things like this happen. Last but not least, always carry protection, whether it's bear mace, my friend, I'll joke with her little machete. It's not even a machete though. A pocket knife, anything, a gun if you can, if you're legal, if you're, have the license to carry. Always have something to protect you, whether you're in this field, in another field. People are extremely dangerous these days, and it's always best to have something to protect you. As for this case, more information is coming out as time goes on. Rumor has it from different, Facebook threads that I've seen on in different, forums. A lot of people are saying that he's definitely escaped the country by now. Being that this happened in April, it's almost April again. We're in November now. So people are saying he's definitely probably went back home, I believe, to Africa. People are saying he's in Africa now, he's escaped Houston PD. But I still want to share this video, even if he's not, so you know that he's still out there in large. Even if he is in Africa, he could still be committing the same crime in Africa. He's still out there. Researching this case, I found the same rhetoric as usual. People are saying that, S-work is dangerous, and these are the things you need to think about in S-work, and da-da-da-da. But I also want to let people know that it doesn't matter if this was a Snapchat, paid agreement, or whether she met this guy on a local dating app and decided to, go to his hotel room or go to his house from the dating app. It does not matter with S-work. It does not matter these days. People are just dangerous, and they will try any way to, get to you. Also, I want to say S-work is very diverse and it's very open, from selling feet pics to even nude wrestling, which I think is honestly cool. It's sex work, S-work, I'm sorry. And yeah, S-work is so diverse and it's so big, and there's no shame in somebody that, wants to make a living doing what they love to do. So I feel like all of this victim blaming on Felicia, on what she decided to do, is her business. And it's her business. It's our business. It's S workers' business. And it's not, outsiders' business to be looking in on ourselves. Everybody wants to pass judgment, but at the end of the day, everybody's trying to survive and be the best human being we can be. Personally, I believe that Chukwuebuka was an repeat offender. It seemed to me that he's done this before, but he's never been caught. Personally, to me, if he looked up how to be a serial killer, if he hasn't killed again, he probably killed before, and he probably is planning to do it again, which is very sad and very scary. So please be on the lookout for Chukwuebuka Nwubodo. If he changed his name, be aware of that. This is a picture of him when he was younger, and these are also pictures of him now, so you can know, just in case he wanted to change his appearance. It's just always best to be safe. Sadly, Felicia got swept into this cycle of chaos and just complete disaster. I'm honestly appalled and honestly not shocked that HPD is not putting the fire on this case. As we've known in history, as we know now, just missing Black people just does not matter to anybody. Especially when they find out that they're an S worker. It's literally like, oh, okay, well, another one bites the dust type of thing. And it's so sick and it's sad because there's so many Black and brown people going missing. And this is why, the point of this channel, to amplify their voices, to amplify our voices. This is extremely serious, and women, especially Black and brown women, are going missing by the minute. Felicia, if you are out there, I want you to know that you are loved, and we are not stopping until your case, your voice is heard. Everybody will know who Felicia Marie Johnson is. I promise you that. If you see this man, please avoid contact with him. If you see him, please locate the local police department and eventually get in contact with Houston Police Department. Alrighty, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me with another SWN True Crime video. Cannot wait till y'all see all my new content coming out. I have so much new cases coming out. There's so much happening in this world, and it needs to be reported, so I cannot wait to report that for y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, comment what you think on this case, comment your thoughts, comment what cases you want me to cover next. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.